Okay, in step one of our 6 steps to 6 figures with Shopify, we're going to look at finding great products. Finding great products is step one because everything in e-commerce is about having a good product. All right. And in this first one, I'm going to focus a lot on drop shipping, but I'm also going to mix it in and talk about print on demand too. So you'll see how this goes. All right. The first thing to talk about is that there is no secret to finding great products. All right. There's no secret hack. There's no secret product trick. It's just a matter of putting in the time and the effort to learn the research. All right. These places that you've seen to find product ideas right here, these are the same places that I've been talking about since 2016. It's also the same places that you'll find many videos out there by many other successful e-commerce entrepreneurs that talk about finding great products. So in this video, we're not really going to be looking at like a specific product research hack because there are none. The method is the same. There are no new methods out there for finding great products. There are new softwares that are really good, like Ecom Hunt and Sell the Trend, that are two that I recommend. I've used both of them. They are both really good at basically curating winning product ideas from AliExpress and trending stuff on Facebook and stores and giving you that data and giving you those ideas so that you can, basically shortcut the process a little bit. But at the end of the day, Amazon and AliExpress are still the best places to find product ideas, and that has not changed. So the main thing to remember as we get started here is it's not really about where to find the products. Okay, that information is readily available. What's more important is understanding how to identify a winning product, right? As we like to call it, a winning product, meaning something that can go viral, something that can trend, something that people want to buy. So how to find these types of products, how to spot that potential. And then also not only how to find them, but when you find good ideas, how do you validate that idea as something that is worth testing? Okay. So that's a really important distinction to remember. And maybe that's sad or disappointing to some of you, but it's just the way it is. Okay. So I'm not really going to go through like a demo of searching on Amazon, searching on AliExpress. I have videos on this already. Other people out there have videos on this already. Or you can skip right to getting a software like Ecom Hunt or Sell the Trend. They both have free trials, which can really help you, jumpstart or shortcut the process a little bit because they serve you with these ideas. But at the end of the day, the research process is well documented out there. So what I really want to talk about is the criteria for finding winning product ideas. So for example, this is one that we're going to use as an example. This is a major winning product of 2019. It's something that's super saturated at this point, but it's a good example because you could have found this product on Amazon, right? By going to Amazon, looking at bestsellers in different categories, looking at the movers and shakers list on Amazon, you could have found this. All right, here it is right here listed as a bestseller with 11,000 reviews, the price here and the star rating. Okay, so a couple good things to indicate is that you see that it's got a lot of great ratings, and that it has a decent price that's high enough. If it's on Amazon selling for this much, right, that maybe we can sell it still at a lower price and make some money. Those are good things to look at when you're looking at products on Amazon. And the next thing, of course, is then you look to see, is this product available on AliExpress? All right, so again, I'm not going to jump in really to looking on Amazon. You can Google Amazon bestsellers. You can Google Amazon movers and shakers if you don't know what that is. But Amazon is still a great place to look and check those lists on a daily basis. And you can, as a matter of fact, I'll go there really quickly. Okay, so you can see I already have this in my search here. So Amazon Movers and Shakers is a place where you can search by department, right? And you can see there's bestsellers, there's movers and shakers, new releases, most wished for. It doesn't get any more difficult than that, right? You come here, you can look in the categories that you're interested in. Okay, and then Amazon will show you the top trending products in these categories. All right. And it's not like it's going to be something where every day you come in, you just find a winning item, but it's part of the research process. You have to be consistent or have a VA who's consistent that's going to be going through some of these products on a daily basis, and looking at different things. And not just movers and shakers is good, but also some of these other categories, bestsellers, most wished for, gift ideas, new releases, like these all have good potential in being able to come on here and search for winning product ideas. Okay, so again, not too much to show here because this has been well documented at this point in 2020. There's lots of videos on it, so I don't want to repeat what's already been presented. But what I'm trying to say here is the first idea when you find, so say for example, I was looking in bestsellers in men's fitness, okay? And so in here, in men's fitness, I can scroll through and look for some stuff. You know, you might see ideas, for different types of products. I could come search for men's shorts, right? You can get specific about different categories of things. So if I come in here and I search for men's shorts, I can see these 2-in-1 shorts that seem like they could be interesting. There's a few different things on here. Some of these aren't really fitness shorts, right? But like this is an idea I see on the first page. Now it doesn't really have any reviews, but if I click on it, sometimes you can click and see like, okay, are there any other ones, related product ideas that have reviews? And then like, look, oh, here's a unique item right here that looks like it's starting to sell, and getting good. This one has good reviews. And it looks like it could have a unique property to it that could make it interesting. Okay, so when you find a product idea, then the next step is going to AliExpress and seeing if you can find somebody to source that product from, right? So let's open up AliExpress. This is the professional hairdryer item, but if I was looking for those 2-in-1 shorts, I could come in and type why is it doing that? 2-in-1 compression. Okay, and so I see that there are suppliers on AliExpress that are selling this item as well. All right. So that's the basic beginning research phase of just looking for ideas. You can look on Amazon or you can look on AliExpress. AliExpress has tons of categories of where you can just go in and search, right? When you're on the homepage, you know, thinking about what niche you want to sell in, what types of items you want to sell in, all of these categories here, break it down, and it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. This is just where you start the process, right? So if you want to sell in the men's clothing niche and you're looking at, say, fitness, you know, then you could either type in men's fitness up top here, or you could start looking at like shorts, right? Or let's see what else they have here. So you could start with shorts probably and start seeing, you know, like wear hoodies and sweatshirts. And, you know, you're looking for a spot or workout. Well, let's see workout clothes right down here. So here, now I'm searching. Okay, let me go back because I think I clicked on the wrong thing. But again, AliExpress and Amazon, they've already done the time to come in here and create these categories of items. And so you can come in and start looking and just start seeing the process. You can talk to suppliers when you find something that looks cool and ask them if they have any other items. You can check out their stores. Okay. So enough on that. I think that, again, there's a lot of information out there on finding products, and I think that That's the initial part. You need to be willing to do the research of it, okay? More importantly is what makes a winning product. All right, as you're searching Amazon, as you're searching AliExpress, as you're looking in these categories related to the niche you want to sell in, what are the criteria? And I've identified 4 main criteria: market demand, availability, the X factor, and mass appeal. And we're going to look at all of these with examples because these are important, right? This is what separates somebody who's just randomly searching AliExpress or Amazon for ideas from somebody who is able to spot the potential when they see a product that could be something worth selling and could make a lot of money. Market demand, number 1. There's 3 ways I look at market demand. And I'm not saying this is the only ways, right? But these are the 3 main ways I've found to be successful. Number 1 is problem. The problem solution method of marketing is the age-old, timeless classic. This will never go out of style, and it's also one of the best ways to sell products in the dropshipping world because this is where you're able to find unique, innovative products that solve problems for people that can go viral and have big audiences, right? And we're going to look at some examples, but this, I think, is the easiest way to get started. When you find a product that solves a problem for a particular audience, okay, that's always going to be something in demand because everybody is always looking for stuff to make their life more convenient or solve some sort of problem that they may have. Passion and pride. This is really, really good for not only dropshipping, but especially in print on demand, because print on demand is all about creating products that have a message, right? And passion and pride are 2 areas that people love to spend money on things that are customized or personalized for them, especially in the apparel and accessories categories. All right, the 4 biggest niches in this overall market demand sector is hobbies. All right. So, people buy stuff based on what they love, like fishing, golfing, biking, sports. Sports. Okay. Those are all sports. Sports is obviously a hobby, but it's just a huge category in and of itself. But hobbies otherwise could be woodworking, right? And that could apply to drop shipping or print on demand, selling items for woodworking. Gardening, for example, baking, cooking, these are all big hobbies that people love to spend money on. Jobs, an example in jobs is nurses, right? Nurses is a huge niche and it's because nurses are proud about that job that they have. It's oftentimes an underappreciated job. They're out there saving lives, so they have a lot of pride in that. And that is something that you can sell to based on that. Veterans is another one, right? Veterans is a job that a soldier had at one point, and it's a huge niche because if you served your country, you are proud of that, and so you will buy stuff that represents that. Family is another one of the biggest ones. This works in really, especially when you're buying and targeting for the gift giver, like husband to wife or father to son or mother to daughter or, even best friend to best friend or son to grandfather, right? Like these are, it's really powerful when you can find print on demand items and different things that have meaning that somebody would buy as a gift for somebody in their family that they love. And then finally, trends. This is really straightforward, but trends is a big one. That there's different trends that happen throughout the year, always every year that people are going to buy. Seasonal trends, based on it being cold or hot, summer, winter, the beach season, or the snow season, right? Holidays, of course. As I record this, Valentine's Day is coming up, and that's a huge trend to be able to sell jewelry and gifts for, husband to wife, wife to husband, boyfriend to girlfriend, vice versa. Political can be huge. Donald Trump as an example, right? There are people that love him. There are people that hate him. And no matter what side you fall on, there are marketers that are out there making money selling to both sides, right? Marketers that are selling money to people who love Donald Trump and so buy stuff to support him. People who hate Donald Trump and so buy stuff to despise him, And then pop culture as well. There's always things happening in pop culture that when you can catch a trend, that's probably the hardest one because the window is so short. But I just mention it because when you can catch a trend with pop culture, sometimes you can sell a lot based on that trend. So here's just some visual examples, right? The problem being this item that we're looking at as an example. It solves a problem based on, women drying their hair in the morning. The idea of this item is that it can dry and straighten your hair and curl it and comb it like all at the same time within its multiple functions. And so that is sometimes with a problem product, it doesn't even necessarily need to be a problem that people are aware of before they see the solution, right? So women are generally aware, women with long hair, right, are generally aware that it takes time to do their hair in the morning. And so when they see something like this, even though they may not have been thinking at the top of their mind, like, is there an item out there that can help me do this quicker? When they see it, the problem becomes immediately to the top of their mind and they're interested in the solution. An example of passion, right? Putting pet faces on or pets on a clothing item, right? This is an example. Somebody's not buying it because of the sock, right? People need socks, okay? But they're buying this because they like cats. And then trends, of course, this was an item that worked well for the Christmas trend because it was a unique way to decorate for the holidays. A bonus idea is when you can combine two market factors into one, passion plus trend, right? So in this example, people who have a passion for their pets and they like buying items for their pets to wear, like these handkerchiefs or bandanas. So that people in America, for example, love buying stuff for their dogs or cats to wear. And the trend it's being combined with is Halloween or Christmas, right? So they can buy something to let their dog be dressed up during the festivities around Halloween or Christmas. Availability. This seems like an obvious one, but you really need to make sure you're thinking about this in two ways. Number one, your product should not be easily found on websites. And it shouldn't be, number two, easily found in local stores, because if it is available everywhere, then people don't have a reason to buy it from you. And what I mean by easily found on websites, right? Like think about Amazon. If your item, Amazon is a great place to research, but if then you see that item is super available and there's like 10 different people selling it with Amazon Prime included and free shipping, and it's like it's already too available. If there's like 30 Shopify stores selling it already, it's already too available. You've missed the boat on that one because it's everywhere at this point. Like you'll see with that one-step hair dryer, it's everywhere. You're trying to sell that. Now, maybe you're trying to sell it locally, but still, even if you're in a local cash on delivery market, you still want to see, like, is it available on the local websites there? So no matter what, you want to make sure it's not too easily found on websites, especially with super cheap and fast shipping options. And number two, local stores, of course. Like, as an example, USB chargers will always be trending items. They will always be like top selling items when you look at AliExpress or Amazon because that people buy them. But for you to try to sell it is just not going to work. Number one, it's easily found on any website and there's already big brands that push them out at very cheap prices. But number two, you could go to like any store, any Walmart, any local department store if you don't have Walmarts in your country, and you're going to see USB chargers available for cheap prices. So like for somebody to buy it from you online is just not going to work, even though it looks like the item is in high demand. Okay. So, again, you just want to look for something that has a natural reason that somebody can buy it from you, especially if you have longer shipping times. One of those reasons will be is if they can't easily find the item available somewhere else. The X factor, all right? You may have heard about this type of term before. The X factor, your product should have a wow factor. It should be unique, right? And of course, I think we all understand that. But I'm going to take it a level deeper and actually make this practical for you and explain the X factor in a tangible way that you can recognize, all right? Not just fluff, okay? So the X factor is that unique element that grabs attention, that makes your product unique, that is going to make it sell. And it can be created in two ways. One way is some sort of unique functionality in the product, and another way is some sort of personalization or customization in the product. Okay, so here are examples of each. Right, a unique functionality is just like it sounds. It's when something is able to do something or have some sort of performance or offer some sort of added benefit that no other product is doing or they haven't seen before. Like this product, which I had to stop selling because it turned out it was a patented product, but it was super cool and the videos were amazing to sell this at first because it's just so unique. Normal helmets are not made with these awesome LED night lights in it. So when you see this video, if you're somebody who rides and has a helmet, that looks super cool, right? That's automatic unique functionality that's added that creates an X factor of why somebody would want to buy this item. Jumped ahead there. And then in this example, all right, personalization and customization, the idea is a product that can be sold based on something that is more personal or more custom than just the actual base item itself, all right? So in this example, the base item is a necklace, all right? And this is actually something available from Shine On. So I'm going to have some specific training with them and I'll have a link somewhere for you to check out the Shine On platform. But anyway, what makes this item unique is the card, right? Trying to sell this necklace just by itself is not nearly as powerful. It's just a general necklace at that point, and you can get these anywhere, right? Easily available. Even if it's kind of cool looking, still just the idea of a heart necklace is easily available. But when you add this message to my wife, and then it has this personalized message here, love your husband, now it becomes a very personal gift you can give to that person, right? And so this item worked really well as a gift item because of that personalization. Without the personalization, it's just a necklace. But with that card and the gift box, okay, which literally, and I want to state that obviously you need to have fulfillment set up to be able to do this, okay? But this is the evolution of selling online when you can find ways to personalize or customize. And as a tip, you can really do this very well with print on demand. There are people out there like Pup Socks that are taking base items like socks and allowing you to upload a image like your dog to the site so that they can then print that image on the socks and ship them to you, right? And so there are next level ways you can do this with print on demand, and that personalization takes a regular commodity type item like jewelry or socks or, whatever, and then turns it into a very personalized, customized experience, okay? That is an X factor. Now, let's talk about unique functionality a little bit deeper when it comes to drop shipping, all right? Because this is something that, again, I want to make it tangible for you so you really understand this, because when you really take this idea a level deeper, it's not just about finding something unique, right? It's about how can you find something that has a unique mechanism, right? A specific design or function that can become the centerpiece of your marketing to make it stand out. Now, I'm going to be straightforward with you and tell you I did not create the idea unique mechanism, right? This is a borrowed idea that has been borrowed from some of the greatest copywriters all the way back through great marketing campaigns. What I want to show you and teach you is exactly how you can take this idea and apply it to drop shipping, to stand out, to be better, to create campaigns with products that can sell more. And I'm going to look at two big examples to really, other than the examples we've already looked at actually, but these are two examples. Number one, the anti-theft backpack. All right. You've probably all heard of this. This is one of the most viral, most trending products of drop shipping in the last couple of years. And the thing about this, when we break down this campaign or this idea, is that this product was already around. It's not a completely new product. The idea of a backpack that can be locked, right? The idea of this functional backpack that can pack a lot of items into it or has a USB charger, right? The proposition, the value proposition of this offer was the safety and convenience, but of its own, that wasn't new. And backpacks already is a huge category, right? So what really made this stand out is taking that anti-theft mechanism, right? That was the unique mechanism about it. And you may think now, well, duh, that's obvious. It's called the anti-theft backpack. But guess what? At a certain time, it wasn't called the anti-theft backpack. It was just a backpack, right? With a locking mechanism and a USB charger, until somebody decided to create that term. Somebody looked at it and said, how can I turn this into more than a backpack and create a marketing campaign around this? Right? And they came up with the anti-theft backpack idea. And then the video that went along with that, if you remember, was a guy wearing the backpack, just casually walking along like he didn't have a care in the world, while a thief tried to break into his backpack while he, wasn't paying attention, but couldn't because of the anti-theft mechanism, right? That is what separated this, that marketing idea that is so common and obvious now because we all know this product, at some point was created, and that's the idea of unique functionality, a unique mechanism that can become the centerpiece of marketing that entire product. Another example is the fidget spinner, all right? We all know this product now, another huge trending product idea, but what a lot of people don't know is that this product has been around for decades. It was called the spinning toy. It was a patented product from 1993 to 2005, and it flopped as the spinning toy. And the woman who invented it, I believe it was a woman who invented it, let the patent expire in 2005 because she never made any money with it, right? And then a couple years later, some marketer comes along and comes up with the idea of looking at this, thinking about how can I apply some sort of unique mechanism to this product? And they come up with fidget, all right? So they call it the fidget spinner. They apply it to the ADHD, OCD market, and it sells millions and became one of the most trending products of dropshipping that we've all seen, and actually sparked some entire businesses just from, and multiple variations and knockoffs of different types of fidget spinners, right? Like it was huge. And it all started, again, now we think of it as the fidget spinner, but it wasn't always the fidget spinner. Somebody had to come along and come up with that idea. That's what we're talking about with an X factor. Not just like recognizing what's cool about this product, but turning it into a unique mechanism, coming up with a name for it, and then making that part of your product and making that part of the entire marketing campaign. That's how you take it to the next level with dropshipping. Next, we'll talk about mass appeal, all right? Mass appeal, this is where the big dollars are made. And all that I mean to say by this, your product doesn't have to be mass appeal, but if it's not, it's going to be hard for you to scale. Products that scale big are products that have big audiences, meaning that they can cross over age lines or gender lines based on a common interest or a common problem that's shared by millions of people. So as an example, for the anti-theft backpack, right? Mass appeal. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, if it's somebody who's 18 years old or 45 years old, it doesn't matter what language they speak, what country they live in, right? It has a unique factor to it that appeals to a very, very broad category of people, okay? And there's multiple different interests that it can be broken down into. Another example that so let's look at this one as an example, right? And we'll work backwards from mass appeal. This product, the one-step hair dryer, can appeal to women of any age, right? As long as they have long hair, doesn't matter if it's black hair, brown hair, doesn't matter if they're Asian, if they're American, if they're from, anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter if they're 18 years old or if they're 60 years old, right? Like this appeals to a very, very large category of just women who have long hair. Doesn't matter what language they speak, okay? So that is something that hits the mass appeal. It has the unique X factor. As you watch this video, you can see she goes from wet hair to dry, straight hair in a matter of seconds simply using this product. And before this product was released, that type of unique mechanism didn't exist. That's why they called it the one-step hair dryer or whatever it was. One-step hair dryer, I think is what it was called. Availability. Now it's very available, right? So you would, based on availability now, you wouldn't sell this now, but based on availability when it was launched, was not something you could just go to the store and get, or that the big brands were carrying. So it became a very unique availability to buy it with dropship stores. And then market demand solves a problem, right? Solves a problem that even women may not have known that there was a solution for before they saw this video. But once they see the video, they're aware of the problem if they've had to deal with, getting ready in the morning and how long it might take to first blow dry your hair and then straighten your hair. And the fact that blow dryers can actually be bad for your hair, right? So all these problems that maybe they've already thought about, but they didn't necessarily know there was a better solution until this product came along. All right, so it checks all the factors, as a great example of a winning product. Now, some things to keep in mind when you're talking about winning products is focusing on the outcome. All right, all marketing is about creating an outcome, and what that means is that you're not necessarily focusing on like the feature. You want to think about what problem does this solve, or what is the purpose, the end result of somebody buying this? Is it solving a problem in their life? Is it something that's going to give them a confidence boost in their pride or ego, or passion area by using this or wearing this? Does it provide more happiness and comfort in their life? Does it make their life easier? Does it increase efficiency? There's multiple ones that the outcome could be, and it could actually be more than one of these. But the idea is that you want to then frame your marketing in that way, right? You focus on the outcome, because once you understand what the outcome is of what this product does or provides for somebody, then you want to use language and create your marketing campaigns and your product descriptions around that idea. Okay, and I'm introducing this idea now, but this is going to be a common theme we talk about throughout these videos, because it's so important. You always want to be selling the outcome, because that allows people to visualize owning that product, and it's a more powerful way than speaking in like this third-party Wikipedia style where you're just explaining what the product is, right? But don't worry, we will get into more examples and how do you actually do that in further videos along. Now, next, in the second half of this, I want to talk about how do you validate your idea, all right? Because like I mentioned in the beginning, it's one thing to look at a product idea and have a good idea, right? But this is step two, step two of step one, right? Like, how do you validate that idea? Because again, it's not necessarily difficult to go find good product ideas. What becomes difficult is understanding, what do I actually test? What do I spend money on? What do I take the time to build a campaign around, or a great product page, or a brand around, right? So you want to have a specific set of validation criteria, and you should look at this in two phases, right? Where maybe let's say you have 2 hours a day to work on getting your dropshipping business started. 1 hour dedicate to just finding ideas. Just look, and you're in find mode. You're just taking good ideas and you think are good ideas, and you're putting them in a spreadsheet, right? No further analyzation at that point. Just, does this look like a good idea based on the 4 criteria? And if it does, putting it into a spreadsheet. Then in that second hour, you go back through each one of these ideas and you validate them to see if it's something that is going to you're going to take to the phase of actually testing, right? It's all about quality these days. Quality over quantity. Long gone are the days of just testing multiple product ideas and hoping what sticks. That's a fast way to lose a lot of money, all right? So you really want to have this step in place, because what you're going to find is if you go through and you find 10 good ideas and put them in a spreadsheet, once you put them into this validation process, you might be left with only 1 or 2 max, right? And then now you have the quality ideas that are worth testing. Doesn't mean you're guaranteeing a big winner every time with that, but it means you're going to be guaranteeing you find winners quickly and more consistently, because you're methodically going through a process of validating something's potential, okay? So let's look at each one of these and just kind of some examples as well. So making sure your item has a trend. All right. This is important, because so Google Trends is a great way to understand if your item is trending now, if it has consistent trend, if it's a seasonal trend, or if the trend has already passed. Okay. So, and you can, excuse me. you can look at this in two different ways. Something with an upward trend, right, means maybe you're able to cash in because you're catching something quickly. Something with a consistent trend means you can probably build a niche brand around it, but you're going to need to spend some time focusing on that. Okay, so let's go to the next slide and look at an example with, say, the hair dryer and the compression shorts. We'll look at both of them. So when you're in Google Trends, the way you can do this is come here to Explore. And I'm just going to break down Google Trends quickly because it's actually pretty cool, right? So there's two ways you can use the Explore. One is you can search trends like I'm going to show you in a minute. Two is you can just see what's actually trending, right? This can also be a product research phase where, say, you come into the United States, or if you're selling locally in a country, you can choose your country. And you can see, so web search is kind of really general, right? I mean, this can give you an idea of trends maybe that you could use, right, within your marketing campaigns, like stuff that's happening in the world right now that people care about. You can focus in on categories though, right? So say your category is home and garden. You could focus in, and this is searching past 12 months, right? And it's showing you what people are searching in the home and garden. Say you want to come into the past 30 days, see what's trending now in home and garden. Okay, now you see, some ideas of and it's hit or miss, right? It's not like saying, oh, every time you come in here, something amazing is going to pop up. But you might be able to get ideas, especially if you come to the Google Shopping filter. And now you're just looking at what's trending in this category in the United States past 30 days in Google Shopping. Ornament storage, mixer attachments, ironing board, right? Like, look, these are good ideas and they're trending right now. So you know that there may be a possibility of an idea of using this, okay? Another way, let's make this back to all categories and make this more general, okay? So another way is when you just want to validate an idea that you already have, okay? So compression shorts. I can come in here and see how is this trending over the past 12 months? How is it trending over the past 90 days? You can see it's really up and down on the past 90 days, but it's consistent. Compression shorts is a consistent trend in here. So I can see that this is something that is a category people are interested in. And even though it goes up and down, it's still always up above the 50 line or around the 50 line, which is good. All right, all this means here, 0 to 100, is basically Google is constantly analyzing all the data that it has. And Google is the largest search engine in the world. The only place that people don't use Google is China, all right? So everywhere in the world, especially the United States, which is a great indicator of what's going to trend in the rest of the world, you're seeing, 0 being people don't care about it at all, 100 being this is one of the top trending things people are talking about on Google or searching on Google, right? So 50 is a great line and a great idea or benchmark, for if something has a consistent trend, okay? As an example for, let's say, Valentine's Day gifts. Let's say for her. As a keyword, right? I'm typing in keywords. So this is something that is obviously trending up right now. So I can see that it's basically reaching the height of its trend at this point. So if you're going to be advertising Valentine's Day, which right now you can see it's the 25th for me. So this trend is on point. Now, this is kind of obvious, right? But I'm just showing you as an example of how you can catch something looking at when the trend is up. Because if you would have been following this, like say you already knew you wanted to sell for Valentine's Day, you could look at last year to see when did it start trending, right? And see that it really didn't start hitting maximum trend until basically the end of January, beginning of February. So it gives you an idea of when to know you should be prepared, right? You could do the same thing with Mother's Day, 4th of July, any trend, right? Also, let's take one last look at a different trend example with something really obvious. Fidget spinner. If I look at the fidget spinner, you can see, it's showing kind of all over the place in the last 12 months. But if we really want to get some really good data, we can open up the time frame even longer, and we can see that within an actual large-scale graph that the fidget spinner peaked in 2017, and since then it has died off really, really hard, right? So that's just a way of understanding how you can use Google Trends, how you can use the different time frames to understand if an item is trending that you're looking at, or if you're, understand when trends happen to predict your marketing campaigns, and also to research ideas you have to see if it has a consistent trend, or if it's at the beginning of a trend that lets you know it's a good time to start selling. Okay, validating with Keyword Planner. Keyword Planner is super useful for identifying some major things as well. Market demand. It's good for market demand because it shows if people are searching for it on Google, then it means there's demand for it. Related keywords and future opportunities. So we'll talk about each of these. Let's open up Keyword Planner. Okay, so when we're looking at Keyword Planner is loading up here, okay, get search volume and forecast. So I'm going to type in compression shorts again. I'm using this example instead of the hairdryer because it's more recent actually. So when we click on keyword ideas, and then you can see, you can set the location here, United States, English, search network, last 12 months. I'm keeping it on United States for this one, and last 12 months is good. I usually keep it set for that. So we'll start with a keyword and get results. All right, so here's, now, I'm not currently running any campaigns actually because it's the beginning of the year and I'm in kind of reset mode with a lot of my stuff. So this is normally when you are running campaigns and actually spending money, Google will give you exact numbers. Well, if you're not running campaigns, because Google Ads account is completely free to open, Keyword Planner is completely free to use, but they try to get people to spend money by giving better data when you're running your campaigns. All right. But anyway, we can still see at the very least that compression shorts is something that that is trending, right? Or not trending, has search volume. If something has 10,000 at least, that's good search volume. If it's, or I should say that's great search volume, okay? Especially when the search volume is 10,000, but the competition is still somewhat low. If it's got search volume in 1,000, I mean, it says high competition, but I judge it based on how expensive clicks are, right? And then if it has 1,000 to 10,000, right? But it's these related keywords are good to still good search volume, right? 5,000 and up is what I really like to see. Again, you can't tell exactly here because of the spread that it's giving you, but it's still good indication. Now, the other reason I like to check Keyword Planner is because it gives you ideas, okay? So in here I can see, for example, if I scroll down, running compression shorts is something people search for. So obviously that's an interest, and maybe now I understand a market that I should be targeting specifically, creating a specific ad for people that like running with those shorts to talk about running compression shorts. Basketball compression shorts, another specific ad, specific market as well. Bike shorts, okay? Now this one's really small, but again, could be an idea, right? I see running shorts coming up again. So I can start to see some different ideas that maybe I didn't even think about. Because what's so powerful about this is Google is showing you what people are actually searching. All right. So these keywords mean that this is what people are actually typing into Google, and this is how they are searching. So it lets you know, it gives you these ideas of markets and relatability of the product to people. It can also show you who your competitors are. So I can see that Under Armour has compression shorts. People search for them. Nike Pro compression shorts. So I can go search that and I can get ideas from how they are doing their product pages. How are they marketing these shorts? What does it look like? What kind of language are they using? What kind of price do they have? Right? So these are all great ways that you can use Keyword Planner to validate an idea and also get more ideas. Validating with AliExpress. Basically on AliExpress, I like to see a few different things. All right. Number one, at least a 4.3 rating on the product. And that's on all the suppliers, right? Maybe one supplier is just a bad store, but I want to see at least a 4.3 rating across all the products. Usually at least a 4.5, but a 4.3 is at least good enough for like, okay, you know, if I really, really like the product, I'll consider it down to a 4.3. But that's across multiple suppliers, right? I don't just want one supplier because I don't want to have to rely on just one person. Now, in the future, we're going to talk about part of scaling is finding private fulfillment, right? But in the beginning, AliExpress is really still the best way to test because unless you know for sure that you're selling something and that it's a winner and that like you're ready to start getting sales and investing in that product, finding private fulfillment is a little impractical. But once you do have an item, right, when you're selling in the beginning, the goal is just to prove the sales, okay? And so you want to have a few suppliers to choose from that are at least going to be reliable enough for you to get your orders out in the beginning until you can move to private fulfillment. Products showing 100 to 800 orders, sweet spot for me across a few different suppliers. Why is this a sweet spot? Because it's not too saturated. If an item has thousands and thousands of orders already, it's probably super saturated, right? But if there are a few suppliers that all are stocking the same item and each one of those suppliers has like 100 to 800 orders on there and they all have good 4.3 rating, that is a good indication of an item that is ready to be sold but has not yet been scaled too hard by a lot of people, okay? So that's how I like to validate with AliExpress. Now remember, each one of these is criteria in the validation process. So it needs to pass on like all of these, okay? Not just one of them. It has to meet all conditions. So when I come here, I can look at this product may be, it's on the line for me, right? Because one thing you have to consider with AliExpress is that a lot of times people, once they start getting orders, will move to private fulfillment, either with the supplier that they're getting here, right? Just contacting your supplier directly and ordering off AliExpress instead. Or, you know, moving to a company like CJ Dropshipping or Weo or Yakify or something. So anyway, this is close, right? This one definitely has a skewed amount of orders, but the rest of them all have good ratings, multiple suppliers to choose from, and the rest of them are kind of in the sweet spot. So this is a close one, right? But anyway, let's look at an example of something that you would not want to sell. Because it's super saturated at this point. All right, this was a major winning product that went really big. As you can see here, if we sort by orders, right, there are already multiple people that suppliers with 61,000, 13,000, 7,000, 6,000, 3,000, right? Like there's so many suppliers with thousands of orders on this product. This is super saturated. So the only caveat to this is if you have a market, say like a COD market, then this may still be a good idea because most people are selling this to the US and to the major European countries that are using credit cards, right? But if you're selling in a different language, if you're selling to a COD market that most people aren't advertising to, then it could still be a good opportunity because you know obviously it's a huge winning product and maybe it hasn't been sold to certain markets yet. But if you're planning on selling just general drop ship to the US and to the top countries, then you want to stay away from products that are already super racked up like this in orders, okay? So for me, like I said, I'm looking for those items that are in that sweet spot. All right, and then, so moving now to the next step, conducting an ad search. All right, so this is also part of it. This is more of a general research phase, but one thing you want to look for is you don't want to see too many people selling it. All right, now the Facebook graph search can be kind of, right, Google Shopping is pretty simple. So, you want to search on Google Shopping, right, and make sure it's not super saturated already. I'm just going to look specifically at Facebook ads because this is more important. That Google Shopping is like a different way to sell, but Facebook ads, so there's different ways. Now, Facebook has actually made this now where you have to search by the advertiser name, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to just like to randomly search by keyword. But what you can do is you can still graph search by keyword. So I can come in here and I can still graph search, like say, for example, okay, so you can still graph search, like say I type in compression shorts. And then come over here to posts. Right now, the thing is, it's kind of Facebook graph search has gotten, because they try to show you more from your friends than from actual other people. So, and especially it's kind of somewhat based on where you're at too. And I'm in the Philippines as I record this, so it's the compression shorts can be more difficult. Oh, I'm sorry, not just compression shorts, but using the graph search can be a little bit more difficult sometimes to get the process started. Spy tools help with this, like Facebook ads spy tools, because they will truly grab data from everywhere. But what I want to show you, I guess, is that when you do see an item that's being sold, you can go to you can use that to try to see how many people are selling it. But this gets into almost a research phase as well, because you can visit their page. And you can come here to this page transparency and see if they are running ads. So they're not currently running ads. Let's go to a different example. I have some saved videos. I'll show you a saved video. All right, so here, let's just go to this first one, the Heaven Mat. Visit page. Page transparency is currently running ads, right? So you go to ad library. So if you are able to identify the page, okay, you can come in here and see, you can sort. Surprised they're running ads in the Philippines. I guess that means they're running worldwide. But you can sort by the country to see what ads they are currently running, right? And it shows you what platform they're running them on. It doesn't show you actual stats, but you can get, everything you need here, from like what they're writing. You can figure out which ones are their retargeting campaigns and stuff, and go check out their actual product page. And so like you see everything, right? It's all in the ads transparency now when you're able to identify. It used to be that you could search, by keyword in the ad library, but like it's just more difficult now. If I type in compression shorts here, see, it's okay, like there's a clothing brand that shows up, but so you have to find a page name that contains it, which is why it makes it a little bit more difficult, right, to do it that way now. So you kind of have to already have your point where you're finding ads. And there are ways to do that. Best way is with an ad spy tool, or just kind of searching on Facebook over and over again, looking through the posts and graph search, or finding, just following the big pages and then seeing when they run ads. But I just wanted to show you this because when you do know what page you're looking at, it's a great way to see, like, are they running ads? And you can kind of track a few different pages, especially if you're looking into a new category, right? Like, say, for example, there's one right now, a certain kind of supplement that I'm looking into. And so I started doing my research and finding, by looking on Google, right, I started seeing who was selling it, okay? And by looking on Google, you can find the Shopify stores, just by searching the keyword with Shopify. And then when you start opening up the stores, you open up their Facebook page. And then you see, by going to their Facebook page, are they currently running ads for the product that you want to run? All right, so it's kind of a backwards process, but you can do that and use the ads library to your advantage that way. And then finally, a video search. I'm not gonna mention too much on this, just to say that you want to search. The reason this is part of it is because there needs to be videos to make a product, unless you're not using a product video, right? But in drop shipping, most cases, what works is a product video. And what really works best are product demonstration videos. And unless you're ordering the product yourself, which is a great idea, by the way, if you want to do that, but a lot of people don't, right? You're looking for a way that you can test quickly without having to order the product yourself. You're going to need YouTube, okay, to be able to go search by the keyword to see, number one, it'll show you, is there interest in the product, right? Like, have a few people blogged about it already in the last year? But number two, you want to see a couple videos that are out there already so that you know you can actually yourself, or have a video editor make a video for you. Some video editors will do this for you already. Like, there's a lot of them. You can search in the Ecom Empires group. There are a lot of dropship video editors that will make videos for $15, $20. And they will, when you give them the product idea, first thing they will do is search to see, are there videos out there enough to make this product? And they will tell you if they don't think there are. But that's something that is the last step, because again, we're validating an idea. And so we're using all of these steps. If it passes all of these, not only the 4 criteria in the beginning, but also these validation points that we went through, then it becomes something that can move into the testing phase and like actually creating an offer around this product. Like I already mentioned, some of the spy tools I like: Ecom Hunt and Sell the Trend for trending product ideas. You can check those out if you want. And Big Spy or Power Ad Spy are 2 that are good for Facebook ads as well. And they're different because these 2, Ecom Hunt and Sell the Trend, are like just ideas for trending products, okay? Big Spy, Power Ad Spy, other ones that are out there are tools that will scrape Facebook. So by keyword, you can type in a keyword to see if anybody's running ads for that product, right? Or you can just search and use it as a product research method as well by seeing trending videos for, different pages or different product ideas. Finally, a product research strategy to consider. Like I already mentioned, right? You want to split it into 2 phases, either yourself or with a VA. Step 1 is to just find good product ideas, okay? Put them into a spreadsheet, right? And when you're putting them into the spreadsheet, you're just focusing on the ideas at first, like an idea phase. And then step 2, or step 3, I guess, is to actually then validate those ideas based on the pointers that I just gave you, and then, cross out the ones that don't make the validation, and the ones that do, you move to a sheet for actually testing, right? You do still want to test lots of products with videos at small budgets, but again, it's about quality over quantity, right? So you want to be finding lots of product ideas, validating them to be only the best ideas, and then testing those ideas. So I would say on a weekly basis, if you're just getting started, right? Like if you can find 2 quality product ideas to test per week, I think that's a good start, okay? Some people might say you need to be testing more, and obviously, let's say 2 to 5, okay? If you can be doing 1 a day, that's fantastic. If you can still be testing 2 really quality ideas a week, I think that's great. And if you're doing that consistently, to me, that's a lot, because within a year, you would have tested over 100 product ideas at least. And if you're testing 100 product ideas using these criteria and validation points, you are going to find something that makes money, right? That's 100%. I'm just sure of it. So it's about the consistency. It's about testing lots of ideas, quality over quantity, and making sure you are really following this process, okay? So that's everything for this video. We kept it to an hour, and I think it was jam-packed with a lot of value of actually how to find drop shipping product ideas, understand what makes a great product, what sells in the marketplace, and how you can go out there and start finding these ideas and then validating them so that you know what's worth testing and spending money on. In the next video, I'm going to talk specifically about print-on-demand products, just kind of like an add-on to this. and also talk a little bit more about specifically how to search for print-on-demand product ideas, because it's different than drop shipping in a few ways. So I will see you in the next video. If you're not interested in print-on-demand products, then you can just skip that one and go to the next video, which will start talking about how do you create an offer around your product, right? But if you are interested in print-on-demand, and it is definitely a big trending and rising category of popularity for sellers and for customers, then check out the next one. All right. Either way, I will see you in the next video.